Hi everyone, and this video we will discuss about an introduction of automation testing with the Playwright. The purpose of this video is to provide you with some basic information of Playwright and automation testing. To achieve that, I will explain what testing is and what Playwright is. First of all, automation testing is a way, as the word says itself, to automate the manual testing that the software tester generally do with the code. To achieve that, we use libraries, frameworks, such as Playwright, Selenium, Cypress, and many others. Playwright is actually the best automation framework out there. Why, who am I to say that is the best? Well, I worked for the past 6 years as automation tester, and I used all of those frameworks in my work environment. And I can tell that I got much better experience, much faster execution, and this library has really better pros that I will probably discuss. First of all, you should understand that automation testing requires some knowledge of coding. So while in manual testing, you need an understanding of what is the how what is the browser, what is the probably information about the HTTP protocol, understanding how the language, the IT language to understand what how locators in the web are called to gain a very good technical illiterate in communication in about software testing. Also, it's important to understand how testing fits to the software development life cycle, and to understand when to come in during this process, generally at the beginning of the development phase. This has been changed over time, but the earlier the software, the testers test an application, the lowest will be the cost of that application. The cost that it comes with the relation of time resolving bugs, amount of bugs to be resolved, amount of development, iteration. Basically, the automation testing is something that complete the manual testing, and it doesn't substitute it. I don't believe it should, and never do it, at least with the current development of things, because there are very important aspects that people should consider of the benefit that doing manual testing have against the automation testing and vice versa. One of them is the exploratory testing, which is something that you gain with experience, knowing a specific application in a certain domain, that allow you to understand, prioritize, and test what is really fit and best for your company, for your specific case. So manual testing should be something to be done immediately after a feature is created, because a feature is built, you can't immediately necessarily create automation test, as there might be bugs which need to be fixed. So the application need to be tested manually at the beginning. So manual and automation tests are subsequent steps that come in at different stages of the software development, not something that can be substituted, that should be done exclusively. This is something I see in many teams happening, but that happened because of probably the misunderstanding from development team of the scope and understanding of what testing is and how it requires an experienced tester to explain and teach the development team about what are the pros and cons, what and how testing could best benefit the process of the bug discovery, improvement of quality of the development, etc., etc., etc. With this, I want to say that automation testing is a very, very exciting field which can be started since the beginning if you aim to get into this type of career, or can be done sometime later on by some software tester which started their career in software testing, starting from the manual side of the testing. Generally, who starts is someone that or have a degree in software engineering that then decide to move into the testing part of the IT sector, or it can be decided to be done later on at any stage, basically. But the fact that you start with manual testing is probably sometime also because it's definitely not everyone that does software engineering realize that writing code is something that is their strength necessarily at the beginning, or there's something they wish to do. It can be simply a question or understanding what you want to do, what you like to do most in the IT sector. Automation testing instead require knowledge of coding, programming language, understanding of basic concepts like object-oriented programming, understanding of specific languages based on the library you will be using. For example, TypeScript, JavaScript, Python. It really depends. Can be or one or the other based on the library that the company uses. Which which library to use, you should use? Well, response generally here is always depends, because you should be looking probably when you start a career in automation testing to the market, and generally the market dictate what maybe could be the best tool library to learn to get into the automation testing. If you start as a manual tester, you might be want to be learning an automation framework. You might be looking into what the company adopts as automation testing library. If you instead have the privilege to start from scratch a new automation testing suite, then you can probably leverage the technology and the best tools, the best performance tools. For example, Playwright. Um, you might be in a company where they already adopt Selenium, for example, for many years. The cost of changing framework from one that has been adopted by many years is a lot, in terms of training, in terms of everything. So they will not change radically to a new performance framework just because it is more performant, because the cost of changing itself is a high cost in terms of time, in terms of person time, engineering time, etc., etc., etc. So this is to say that the library to use depends on the market, where you are at, and the possibility the company has. If you start at the beginning in this career, probably it will be better for you to start in a team where other more senior people, automation tester, are, because you probably want to learn from people more experienced than you the automation testing in general, and become better. And it's generally good to have people to ask questions to become more senior over time in your position, and then with this experience you can move into any framework of automation testing, because most of the knowledge are really transferable. All the knowledge are really transferable. Playwright is one of the best framework developed by Microsoft, and is able to automate web application, mobile application. That's for at least what I've been doing in my past 6+ years. It is supported and developed and improved over time. It also supports a lot of AI implementation. It's basically cutting edge, in the cutting edge area of automation testing. And it also supports Shadow DOM. It doesn't have the web driver like Selenium, which means that natively supports the browser. The concept you need to know that Playwright is on the best side, on the cutting edge of this, and you might want to consider as one of very good tool to learn in the future landscape, because any new company that implements automation testing, almost every, I believe, if they want to be competitive in terms of using better the resources, they should use Playwright. They can use other tools, sure, but Playwright so far is definitely one of the best bet, or the best bet in my opinion. Let me know in the comment if you think differently, but definitely let me know in case you used other frameworks. Things change over time, but so far I really confident to say that. That's it from today. This was just a panoramic on the general field of automation testing and Playwright. This is the documentation, the one that you see. Uh, when you learn Playwright, you can basically check the documentation to understand better how to learn and test specific cases and how to find locators in Playwright. And generally, the programming languages in Playwright are different. You can use it with pretty much any language, but the most common one used are JavaScript and mostly TypeScript. So, in terms of what programming language you should learn, in functional term, doesn't matter. As I said, it really depends on the market. You can tell the marketing for Playwright uses TypeScript most of the time and JavaScript. And yeah, for Selenium, Java most of the time, but also Python. For Cypress, also JavaScript or TypeScript. I hope this video was useful. Let me know in the comment if you liked, if you have anything you would like me to ask. I will respond in the comment, or ask me if you want me to make a new video in specific. And also, I mentor people that want to get into the automation testing field, software testing. So if you wish to have a call with me, have you will see in the description the email where you can contact me, because I'm selecting few people where to mentor for free in change of a testimonial. I only have limited spaces, so not everyone will be able to do that. So if you wish to do that, consider to do it. We can have a call uh, in Zoom or Google Meet. By the way, again, this is Roberto Coscia, QA engineer with 6+ years of experience, working in different companies like Paramount, TikTok. So I know what I'm doing. And let me know if you wish more training or have questions. See you in the next video.